Hello, I'm Fernando Perez Galaz, co-founder of Fundación Obesidades here in Mexico City. What Obesidades is addressing here in Mexico is a very big problem because it's a pandemic. Obesity is a chronic, multifactorial, and complex disease that affects children and adults by the same. Currently, we are the #1 country in child obesity and the #2 in adult obesity. We are the first community that gathers patients that lives with obesity, healthcare providers, and civil organizations that are interested in changing the narrative around obesity and its treatment in Mexico. Currently, we have a public campaign that is changing the narrative to stop weight stigma, to stop discrimination, and to stop the bully that suffers patients living with obesity. We need to understand that the obesity is a chronic illness, a very complex illness, and we are all co-responsible of their situation and their families. Creating awareness about this situation and how people living with obesity suffers of weight bias, discrimination, or bullying, and often they don't get good health care, will change the way society look at this illness, and will change, of course, how people living with obesity gets treatment. And of course, this is not an easy task. We need to continue our efforts in order to change the way doctors think about obesity. Of course, we need to change how the whole society looks at obesity as a chronic and a complex disease. We need to implement online training for healthcare providers, nurses, doctors, nutritionals, dietitians, and rehabilitation professionals, everyone that treats patients with obesity. We need to win this prize because we are the first coalitions that is made up with healthcare providers and patients living with obesity in order to accept obesity as a complex disease and a chronic disease.